Hello.
Hey. Okay. Cool. Obviously we're live. I just feel like I need to say that. We are Josh and Stasia.
That's right.
We're the Yaos. Real people doing music for reals. But yeah, so we're going to talk about the Whakaari documentary. I'm not saying that completely correctly. The one that's now on Netflix. It's been there for a minute.
Yeah, it's called the Volcano Rescue from Whakaari. I believe that's what it's pronounced. Yeah, it is fascinating.
And heartrending.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, I just wanted to real quick thank everybody that gave money to the through the vehicle of the Almighty Christmas compilation donated to International Justice Mission this holiday season. I will be kind of wrapping all that up later today and passing that on. And I think we made enough to get a share of a rescue mission this year, which is pretty awesome. So thank you all so much for your generosity and interest in original music. That in itself is a win.
Yeah, if you don't know International Justice Mission, check them out. They're really a wonderful organization that helps rescue people caught up in human trafficking. So it's anything, there's a very worthwhile cause. So thank you.
But yes, now, so the documentary is showing a real life volcanic explosion that happened in 2019, December 9th. But it didn't just explode or erupt, it erupted with a bunch of tourists right there next to it. Right?
It's basically a volcanic island that off the coast of New Zealand that you could take these excursions to. Some people were on cruise ships and they did an excursion. Some people were just, flew there so they can see a real active volcano. It's still there now. There's steam coming up and it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's such a wonderful scene. It's insane. There's these bright neon colors of yellow and green. It looks like a cartoon, except that it's real. And I would want to go. And I was like, wow, that looks cool.
Yeah.
Was watching this crazy thing happen. I was feeling guilty because I'm like, I could have been one of those tourist people and could have dragged Stasia, my wife, over to this place. And I was like, oh, I would not have wanted to do that. And so it is, yeah, it's heart-wrenching. Yeah.
Heart-wrenching, inspiring, because you get to, meet some of the people who were rescuers in the situation. I think there's a quote that I've heard is by that really nice childhood show presenter guy who was also a pastor, Mr. Rogers. Apparently he said, or his mom said that when something awful is happening, look for the helpers. And this documentary definitely helps you do that. Look at the ways that people came together to make the best of a really awful situation.
Yeah, there was there's helicopter tourist groups, and one of them just 20 minutes after finding out about the eruption knew and heard that there's people on there. They just threw some water in their helicopter fleet, and they all just flew there. Just because they knew that they needed help and they had the means. And so you can either do something or not do something. And they said, well, we decided to do something. And it gets kind of crazy because they're in touch with all of the authorities, the government, and New Zealand, and there's all these people down there. They land on the island. It's after the eruption. All these survivors, and they need help. And the New Zealand government said, and I don't know what it takes to make that decision, but they said it's unsafe, so we're not going to send any help. So these, business people with their helicopters are left being the only hope that these people have. And it's just crazy. And I understand the decisions are hard to make, but I'm like, couldn't they send a couple? But then you're putting other people's lives on the line. I understand. It's a hard decision. But like those people are heroes, and they got all the survivors off the island, and yeah, and also it shows you people's phones experience of the eruption.
Yeah, you get to be right there with them.
Yeah, because they're tourists, and everyone's got a phone now. So,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? And
Yeah,
they're
that's
running
wild.
with their. You see the screen just kind of the camera just go black, and there's like some bits of red, and it was mainly steam that I don't think there was lava, but it said it was like something like 400-degree steam or something.
Yeah, so I mean, objectively, that part was interesting to my science brain because there's a little bit in there about how the volcano on that island is different from the ones that we're more familiar with, like in Hawaii. Like they kind of erupt differently.
Yeah.
They have different styles of anger management, you could say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me and probably most people that will watch this, I assume, I think the most compelling people involved in the actual like eruption, there's this like couple that they kind of like tell you the story of who just were sticking together through this whole thing. Newlyweds. And like they have some lines of dialogue that just choke you up immediately. I won't tell you what they are because you just go watch them yourself. But there's this one couple at the center who I guess they really add some human interest. Not that nobody else does but for me, the true romantic in me like really was interested in these two very sweet people.
Yeah, it's inspiring, and yeah, it was like, what would you do in that situation? Yeah, you hold each other, and yeah, it's neat. It's heart-wrenching and warming at the same time in its own way. So
Yep.
yeah, it was definitely like a heroic, awesome journey that you get to take. You get to go to New Zealand on this island it's like an hour-and-a-half boat ride to the island. So when they rescued them, it's like, man, they've got all these wounds and they have to wait an hour-and-a-half on a bouncy boat ride. Like, man, that sounds so terrible.
With water splashing their damaged skin, sun. Oof.
Yeah, so God bless them.
Yep.
I'm really glad that there's a lot of people that didn't survive, but I'm really glad a lot of people did. And it was thanks to the people who put their lives at risk, because it's true, like that volcano could have gone off again while the rescuers were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, again, no spoilers, but I'll just say like there were a couple tour guides that are sort of at the center of this narrative, and I doubt that this video will reach anyone connected to them, but if it does, my condolences. They sounded like just like primo people, and it says anyway. No spoilers.
That's so sad.
But yeah, so yeah. But anyway, all that to say, go watch this documentary. It is quite a story, and I'm really glad that Netflix made a documentary of it, because it was I think it was a newspaper article first or some sort of something.
Well, yeah, it happened in 2019 and in December, you said.
Yeah.
So some of the people recovered. It took them, like, they had 18 surgeries in 18 months or something like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So they were, to end of 2019. What happened in 2020? So think about that. Like, out of the volcano into the pandemic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So, yep. And once again, thank you to everyone who gave to International Justice Mission through the Almighty Christmas compilation. If you are a musician who would like to be featured on it in 2023, reach out. uhosmusic@gmail.com. Just shoot me an email and we'll talk.
Hey.
So, yep. if you're wanting to get in right before I pass the money on to International Justice Mission, I'll probably be wrapping it all up today around, I don't know, 2 p.m. Central Time. You don't have long, but go on and you can find, I'll post the link in the comments, but basically go to almightychristmas.bandcamp.com and you can get your music for free and you can pass us some funds to pass to International Justice Mission. Or just go to them, www.ijm.org. Just go give them some money. You know, you could totally bypass the whole music thing. It's just kind of fun. So, all right. Happy New Year's Eve tomorrow, y'all.
Eve of New Year's Eve.
Drink responsibly. Tea included.
That's right. All right.
Ciao. Ciao, 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 ciao. Ciao, ciao,